Well, is it good to finally have hopefully an uninterrupted season? The first 3 seasons you've been here as coach, and we've had all sorts of chaos. So is it quite nice to have a normal season for once?
Yeah, fingers crossed we head in that direction, and look, we get to play a normal season in Wellington, hopefully a full season in Wellington. So look, it's been a long 3 months to get to this point, and I'm very excited for the game tomorrow. I'm sure the players are as well.
Does that change your expectations? You had a pretty good season in your first year in charge when there was kind of the least amount of disruption.
Yeah, look, it's good to play home games. I think it does create an advantage. Teams have to travel to Wellington. We get to play in front of our home fans, which obviously helped the team during the game as well. So, you know, we had a good first season, but that was a long time ago. And now we've got some, we've got a core group of players that we've kept within the squad, and we brought in some, some exciting visa players as well. So hopefully we can do what we achieved in the first season and do it better.
Yeah, last season, you were quite a dangerous team on the counter. Someone like Josh Saturia was really fast. You've brought in some different attacking players. Where do you think the team's sort of different or has different strengths to last season?
Look, we brought in Oscar as a striker, as a bigger body. Always wanted someone with a bit of presence inside the box. He'll give us that outlet too when we're under pressure to be a little bit more direct, to be able to hold the ball up and bring players to the game. We brought in Costa. Costa's got a lot of pace as well that we can utilise him going in beyond defences. And look, Wayno's done very well the last 3 months in pre-season as well, and he's added to his game with the strength and power that he has as well to be able to hold the ball up and bring players to the game as well. We've got Jan, who's a creative player, a skillful player that we believe that can play in tight areas. BK similar to him, a little bit different, and also look, we've got Oldie, we've got young Van Hattem that's got pace as well that can play up top. So we've got a balance, I believe, of good players that can help the team.
Yeah, did Oscar do enough against Sydney to press his case for a start tomorrow?
Well, the reality is Oscar come late into pre-season, so we have to build him up with games and matches, and the only way we can get him fit is by actually playing games. So we'll play him tomorrow against Adelaide, and we'll push him as far as he can go, and when he blows the gasket, we'll take him off, and we've got enough players and enough depth to make those changes.
Yep, and just on injuries, is Clayton available? So he's been sort of included in the wider sort of squad.
Yeah, Clayton's available, so he's been training with the group for the last 2 weeks. So he's available.
Sort of capable of starting?
We'll make that decision after today's session.
Yeah, okay. Is that a nice boost?
Yeah, definitely gives us that depth. We've got, for me, I think we've got 4 very good midfielders in Roofs, Clayton, Stephen and Nico, which is great for us. I think there'll be a lot of competition for those positions. Clay's been training, like I said, the last couple of weeks with the group. Roofs will be back soon, hopefully early November. We'll get him some minutes with the reserve team, and for me, I think that's great for the team to have that competition, and I think then the boys will push hard to maintain their spot within the team. Yeah,
Clayton's been at the club a few years now. What are your expectations for him this season?
Clay, I believe, I said this earlier in the podcast, you might have heard it, that I think he's a very talented player. I think he's got some very good attributes in the position that he plays. I still don't believe that he's hit his full potential, and my job is to try to get the best out of him to do that. So I'm hoping that Clay does go to another level this season. Yep,
and this is your 4th season at the club. You're also off contract. Is this going to be your last season with the Phoenix?
It's still a long time away, Philip. For me, the focus is we want to start the season on a high, hopefully get 3 points tomorrow against Adelaide playing at home, and then we've got another home game against Central Coast. So the focus for me is the season, and let's have a good season, and a lot of things change in football very quickly, as you know.
Yeah, because I guess it's always quite interesting when a coach is off contract. It's something that we'll probably get asked about many times throughout the season, but how do you make sure that doesn't sort of become a distraction? Are you someone who would like to have your future decided early, or do you mind if it kind of drags on?
No, for me, there's no dragging on or early. At the end of the day, look, my focus is currently being the head coach of Wellington Phoenix. I'm always going to do my best to try to get the best possible outcome for the team and the club. Like I said, the focus is on having a good season this year, and whatever happens at the end of the season happens.
Yeah, and I guess, you've spoken before, you're an ambitious coach, you want to coach overseas. I guess the best way to do that is to have a successful season with the Phoenix.
Well, the plan is to obviously look. There's 12 teams in the competition, and at the end of the day, at the end of the season, there's only one winner. So every a team starts with the ambition to be successful and try to get that first spot. So we're in the same place as all those other 12 teams. We'll try to do our best and try to finish in a great spot and have a good season. So look, at the end of the day, these things that we're speaking about now are a little bit out of my control. The things that I can control is what I can do with Wellington Phoenix.
Yeah, I think it's only twice the Phoenix have won their first game to start a season. How important is it to start strong tomorrow?
Well, we haven't always had a great start. We've been obviously the first season bringing in a lot of players, then obviously being a little bit disjointed in pre-season with us being based in Australia the last 2 seasons. So I think we've had a decent pre-season this year, and we want to get off on a good run. Like I said, we've got 2 very important home games for us, and we want to maximise that as much as we can.
Yeah, and with the World Cup break this year, does that change anything in terms of the importance of the first 6 games, or we're targeting the first 6?
Yeah, I think it's very important. I think the first 6 games are very important to put us in a good place. With the break coming in, also it's going to help us bring players back like Borley and Roofs as well, so that we can add them back to the group. So the first 6 games are very important to maximise the amount of points we can get from it.
Yeah, and in terms of pre-season results, you're not concerned by the fact that you lost 3-0 for Sydney last week?
No, look, the score doesn't really reflect the game. We made a few changes towards the back end where obviously we conceded a couple of goals, but overall performance I was quite pleased with the players, and we needed that game. We needed an A-League opponent. We played a couple of local teams back here in New Zealand, but when we went to Sydney to play that game, the intensity lifted again, and that's something that the players needed.
Yeah, and you've played finals football twice, missed out once by I think it was 1 point. What would be a successful season for you and the Phoenix?
Well, for us, it's the aim is to make the top 6. If we get into the top 6, we give ourselves a chance to play finals football. Obviously, if we can push even further and finish in the top 4, even better for us. But like I said, the aim is to always make the top 6 and play finals football.
Yeah, I see across the ditch people always seem to write off the Phoenix, no matter how well you perform the previous season. But do you believe you've got a squad capable of going further than that?
Yeah, I think we've got some talented players. I think we've got players that can actually hurt opponents. I think we've created a good balance of the squad. So look, like I said, I'll push the boys as hard as we can to get to the outcome that we want, and that's to play finals football. Look, for people who write us off every year regardless, and I don't mind that. We fly under the radar and we still do our jobs, and we end up making the top 6.